What's going on, y'all? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A very beautiful day in the neighborhood. So beautiful right now that it's time to bring on my beautiful friends. We're gonna start the day off with Chaotic Blaze. What's happening, Blaze?
Hello. I was trying to be smooth with it. I was turning on something on my laptop. What's good? Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, my
Week
friend. What's
number
been up?
2 for me.
Yeah. Well, you know what? This. These are officially where they start. So you know what I'm saying. Shout out to Chaotic Blaze for getting down with us. That was a nice little rendition of music that you shared with us last week. How are you feeling?
Thanks. I'm feeling good. It's really great to have the opportunity to talk about these songs in depth and just have a
Yeah.
real, convo about just music in general. So it's a little bit outside to what I'm used to doing, but it's also refreshing. So
Yeah.
I really appreciate both you and Bruce for putting me down. You know what I'm saying, and keep it going.
Huh? Okay. All right. Well, speaking of brother Bruce, Bruce is right here. What's up, brother Brucey B? What's up with? Oh man, look at. Do you
Hey,
see this guy, Blaze? Do you see this?
right.
This dude comes in here with the farmer's almanac in here with us, man, telling us
Shit.
it's gonna rain next year this time. What's up with you, Bruce?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. Good to be here with y'all. Beautiful, beautiful weather. The vibes are just right this time of the year. Everything's the sun is out. The weather is warm. Everybody's feeling good.
That's
Coming
right.
out of a hibernation in in a certain sense.
You know
Uh,
what? I want to shout out Blaze's shirt because that Stevie Wonder's hard, man. Look at that mustache on Stevie, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
Looking like a
Hard, like
young
we were
Andre
just
Benjamin.
talking. Go ahead.
I said looking like a young Andre Benjamin on that shirt.
Word. Oh
hmm
shit. Yeah. Shout out. We were just talking about DJ Spinner's
That's
event here in LA. Celebrating everything Stevie Wonder.
yeah,
Wonderful. Such a dope event. And I hope it comes back. I know given COVID and all this stuff,
yeah.
we'll see. But fire event. And that's where I got this shirt. So shout
Oh
out to the
wow.
people printing them out
And
there.
you know what? I want to shout out this shirt because one of my in real life friends, she goes by the name of, I don't even know her Insta. Oh, it's on here. Sacred Alchemist. She has this shirt, and shirt says "Sorry, but boundaries," and I think that's very, very cool. So I always try to support my real life friends, man. Just show them, anybody, man. If either one of you guys put anything out, I try to support people, man, just because people need to see people who they know and love support them. So shout out to you, Monica. I appreciate this. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you posted it, first thing you saw was that PayPal coming from Daryle. So I'll be purchasing more of her things, but I think this is really cool. And I want to get the hella dope from your friend. I was looking on her things to try to see if I could find some man things on there.
Oh, Bongo Rock?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think she's making anything. I mean, that was more of a present than something that she
Okay.
created, but she has made t-shirts in the past, but yeah. She's a B-girl slash makeup artist. I have a lot of dope what were you calling them? In-person friends? Real life friends?
real
Real
life.
life friends,
Real
man.
life friends. I like that. Real life friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
So shout out to her.
How do y'all brothers in LA always wear sweatshirts, man? I never understood that.
You
Well,
know
cause
what? It's not hot like the South because there's no humidity out here.
that's right.
So it gets pretty like as soon as the sun starts to go down, you could definitely be in the 60s easily, and then you're cold and you're assed out because you have a t-shirt on.
Last night, perfect example. Yesterday it
Yeah,
was damn near 90 degrees yesterday, all
yeah,
day.
yeah.
I decide, you know what? I need to go to the ocean. I want to clear my mind. I just want to write, a little bit. And I get to the ocean and it's 59 degrees. So I mean, it was just that much of a thing. So I always keep a some kind of sweatshirt or a hoodie in the car, man, just in case. Cause if anybody really you watch my stories, I'm always at the ocean. It's purifying for me, and it centers me. So yeah, I needed that. I needed that, man. But yeah, that's how we do it. Come
And
on down
there's
here
your
and come
answer,
taste it.
Bruce. Why
Yeah,
you need
come
a
taste it.
sweater
I
in
learned
LA?
something new. Learn something new. Maybe I'll bring a sweater with me next time I head out to LA.
You should. And shout out to everybody who's watching the show. Thank everybody last week for the interaction. Remember, this show is 100% interactive, so you could always type, you can always chat with us. We chat back, we don't bite. And thank you guys just for getting down with us. Whoever wants to go first this week, you can. My mind is just somewhere else, y'all. Yeah, things happen in life, and yeah.
So Blaze kicked us off last week, so I'm gonna kick us off this week.
All right.
So I guess it's kind of fitting that I spoke about LA for a moment because the first artist I'm going to be playing, he's not from LA, but when he started his American recording career, or I can't say American recording career, when he came to the US to record, LA was the spot where he, made some amazing music with some amazing artists like Leon Ware, the group Chicago, and a handful of others. And I am talking about Brazil's own Marcos Valle. This is a 1960, I think it's five album for Warner Brothers Records, Brazilians. Um, it has a bunch of songs that were featured on other albums over the years of his, and these are mainly instrumental takes on those tunes. So I'm gonna come off first with the track Batuki. Batuki is refers to drumming, like a. I don't want to sound like I don't understand, but what's the word? Batucada. Batucada is like Brazilian rhythm, drum rhythms. It's like a more Afro centered version of samba, I guess, so to speak. Just heavy on percussion and polyrhythms, and so Batuki is like a noun, I guess. Uh, but forget all the linguistics. Marcos Valle and his music. So this is Batuki. So this is Marcos Valle and Batuki. And also another one of my most favorite times of my life really was the last time I was in LA. It was actually to see Marcos Valle perform for the Jazz is Dead concert series. They brought up a handful of Brazilian legends to perform, and I got to see Marcos right there front row, right in front of his hands playing the Fender Rhodes, man. Got to meet him the evening before, and he did a nice little in-store at the Art Form Studio, a little interview session, and just an amazing man. Had an amazing career in music from the early 60s all the way until now. He's 76, 77, still looks young, and he's still full of youth. Marcos Valle.
I like that last album he dropped. Also, that last album was pretty. That joint was banging, man.
Yeah, man. He's like I
You
said,
have that in your collection, huh?
yeah. I'm actually sitting right next to it. Let's see if I was gonna try to pull it out smoothly, but I'm not too smooth as you can see.
If y'all don't tell me this don't look like Bruce.
Boom. Oh man,
Ooh,
come on, man.
I love that album, man.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
got his autograph on the back.
Look at you, man.
nice.
Stun
Hip
on them,
hop
man. Soldier
survival.
Boy, stun on them, baby.
You know what's so funny to me sometimes when the when in your mind before you actually know what an artist or musician looks like, and you're just listening to their music and you just
Mm.
have this idea set in your mind, and then when you see them, you're like, oh, all right. Like, cause when I look at that album cover, I swear to
Right.
you.
So, so Marcos, his family's originally from Germany. His parents are from
Got
Germany,
it.
and they moved to Brazil at some point. So,
Yo, he
we
was
got
ready for that, Daryl. He was
Yeah.
like,
You know where I was getting. You spoke my mind because you already know what I'm thinking. Like, yeah, yeah, you got it. You got it. You got it.
uh,
You got it. You got it. What's up next with you, Blaze? What you got going
all
on?
right. Actually,
All right.
last week when I played Odyssey's Native New Yorker, Bruce had mentioned something when I was going through my record collection. I was like, you know what? I'm actually gonna play this sample material right here, bro.
yeah, yeah.
Dr. Buzz's original Savannah band. You did mention this, and it's actually dope that you did mention it because I have it. Ha ha. But funny story. Not funny, but most people know that a couple of tracks come from here. The one I'm actually gonna play, Sun Shower, it was also sampled with Ghost. MIA sampled it as well. But there's a lot of hip hop history in this band who uniquely has such a unique sound. I mean, I don't even know how you would describe it. It's like big band
Big bad.
meets like some Afrocentric hints with like classical. It's like a whole bunch of shit combined with this
Yeah.
album. With that being said, with the song I'm gonna play, Sun Shower, it's actually a song I used to make my first beat
Wow.
back in the day when I was experimenting with stuff. And like I had mentioned as well, uh, it's popular with us hip hop heads with Ghostface. Intro though. When you're listening it to loud, the raindrops are serious.
Sun shower, just a sign of the power of loving you, oh baby. Sun shower got me by the hour, wanting you, oh baby. When my eyes went out to you, I made up my mind that every little thing I do be designed to glorify you. My whole life through, I've been walking in the rain until that day I chanced on you, and the sun came pouring down. Sun shower, just a sign of the power of loving you, oh baby. Sun shower got me by the hour, wanting you, oh baby.
Sun Shower.
That's the joint right there.
Classic shit. Sample
That's the
material.
joint right
That
there.
was hard, man. I like the child in the background singing.
Who's that child?
Yo, Ghost Ghost Showers is the jam. I love the album that it's on. That's one of my favorite songs off that album.
And you know what's funny? Cherche La Femme and Sun Shower are back to back on this album. And those are two samples Ghostface has used.
I
So
have to
on
revisit
two
that album
successive
because
albums, I think too.
I had to revisit that album because I'm literally that's one album that was given to me by a relative that I never even touched, to be honest with you, until just now. And I'm just thinking, like, what are you doing? Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice, nice.
yeah,
Wow.
man.
Well, yeah, you just woke me up to something. Well, um, I'm kicking off with a little group called Champagne out of Champaign, Illinois. And normally I like to play a song on here called On Fire because oh my god. We'll save that for another for a couple weeks down the line, but the song I'm getting ready to share with you right now is called Whiplash. Just a danceable treat for your ears. So hopefully I get to see you guys out and about soon and you best believe I'm trying to give you some whiplash. And there you have it.
All right.
Just a
I'm
little
feeling that.
brilliant little groove, you know what I'm saying? A little something just to get the party started, you know?
Now,
Whiplash.
was that before or after
How
Rick
about
James
us?
Street Songs album? Because that sounds like
Similar.
Street Life
It's around the same
or not
time. These are
Street
all
Life.
around the same time. This is 81, so it's all around the
Okay.
same time. Everybody was all doing the same thing, you know.
Um, and Champagne, were they produced by somebody like the first album by like Earth, Wind, and Fire or by Verdine White? Did he produce?
I don't know. We have to talk to brother Google, and he'll have to let us know on that one. I'm not even going to front. I don't know enough about that to even speak on that. You would be more of the scholar of this show, and I am more of the free spirit. Oh, bless the Lord. So yeah, I don't know that one, but we definitely can look into that to get more information.
Yeah, because I want to say that it's either them or maybe it was Wayne Henderson. It was somebody from like another group. I feel
I
that
feel more that's more of a Wayne Henderson
Henderson.
thing than it
Yeah.
is a Champagne thing because I don't remember them being produced by a bigger name, but I could be wrong. But I
Hmm.
feel like that's more Wayne Henderson. I'm leaning more 85% to say that.
Okay.
But
Okay.
brother Google will tell me.
Yeah, I was just curious. That was all.
Hey
Uh,
man, you're a scholar, man. That's what scholars do.
Mm-hmm.
What you got next, Brucey B?
so what I have next is actually he put a lot of people on in his day, and he's a legend in his home country and around the world. And today is his birthday. He's not here to celebrate his birthday for himself, so we're gonna keep his memory alive. And this is Sugar My Knot with his Wickeder Go Feel It LP, 1984, I think, on Wacky's Records out of Brooklyn, New York. I want to say I played a track off this before, but I'm gonna play. That was way back then, and
It
if I
don't
play
count.
the same
Doesn't
track,
count.
It don't count, man. Show started last week, man. So if you play a song that you played before,
yeah, it don't count.
it didn't
So
count. You know, it didn't count back then. That was practice runs.
yeah, so I'm gonna play the title track from this album. It's just a dope groove. Unfortunately, the cover is all moldy and water stained and torn up. And the
Gotta
There y'all
live
record,
go with
that
these
life.
covers again. There y'all go with these covers again.
and the record's a little warped, but it plays fine, for the most part. So I'm happy to have it, and I think you all will be happy to hear it. So here's Sugar Manat with Wicked I Go Feel It.
Wicked, this a Armageddon. Wicked, I go feel it. This a Armageddon. Righteous reveal it in this dispensation. In a this a hour, in a this a time, yeah. Alright, prophecy revealing, prophecy revealing. Oh yes. So what you sow, you shall reap. Alright. Wicked man, your judgment is white steep. Oh yes, not you, you sit down in a front seat. Let me tell you, I know one day you're gonna weep. Oh yes, cause the wicked are go feel it in a this a Armageddon. Wicked are go feel it in a this a Armageddon. Righteous reveal it in this dispensation. Inna this a Iowa, inna this a Iowa, and inna this a time. Me say inna this a time. You go on your
So
life.
yeah, Sugar My Knots. Wicked I Go Feel It. The dope thing about Sugar is he always put cats on. His whole big thing was putting on younger dudes from, I guess his neighborhoods and whatnot, who weren't able to have access to recording equipment or the recording industry. So he was always reaching back and bringing people up. And I know there's still a lot of folks in the game, in the dancehall game, who were put on by Sugar or put on by Sugar's people. So his legacy is definitely wide. And he did a lot of different styles of reggae too. He did digital dancehall. He started out doing loops and harmony stuff. So his legend is deep in the game. Sugar My Knots.
Do you call is that I grew up hearing that and knowing that as roots reggae. Is that classified as roots? Or somebody was telling me the other day that it was called ska. Like I thought ska was more of a punk thing, so I was thrown off.
So this isn't roots. I don't know what exactly they would call it. I wanna say it's more in a rubber dub style, which is like a kind of it had like a few years run in like the early '80s. It was just a kind of style of dance hall, really characterized by the kind of bass lines. Um,
Yeah.
almost kind of how like the bass line it kind of like it kind of had like almost like a rolling kind of style to it. So I want to say that's characteristic of the rubber dub style. Other cats like Eka Mouse were big on that.
Third World was big on that too.
Mm.
Yeah,
Ika Mouse was very big on that.
mhm. So I think, yeah, I don't know. Well, whatever it is, it's reggae music, whatever subgenre, and it's dope music above all else. So
Indeed.
yeah,
There
Sugar
you
My
go.
Knot, we're gonna go feel it.
Have it either of you been to Jamaica?
I have not.
I have.
I have not.
Yeah.
I love it there.
I
One
love
day.
it there. You know
I
what?
love
I paid an employee at the hotel I was staying at to burn me like 2 CDs.
For real?
Yeah. I was like, yo, I need that fire.
That's dope.
I'm like, I need that hot fire.
Now, did
And-
they give you that fire?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like it was on the club tip, like
Yeah.
the club bangers,
Yeah.
like that. Not too many people have heard of out here in the States at the time. This was like in 2013,
Wow.
but it was money well spent, and it was funny because her facial expression was like, "You want me to do what now?" Yeah. But as I cue my next song, actually, it's a 45.
45's only, y'all.
Yeah, man. I get good memories when I just think about this song. Number one, for those that don't know, I come from, I guess my background and where I really started within hip hop culture, besides being a listener of the music, was with breaking,
Mm.
aka breakdance, but that's not what we call that shit. But breaking. So I spent a good portion of my life doing that art form, and because of that, at a very young age, I was introduced to a lot of funk and soul and R&B that I think probably otherwise I would have never known about.
Mm.
So last week, Daryle played some Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Indeed.
So yes, you did, and that's why today I'm actually gonna play Africano, which is uh, within the breaking community. This is one of those classic breaks that the floor is just gonna get crowded because
Wow.
everyone's just trying to catch it. And it's just a dope song. Like how many? What other group can you say their instrumentals hit as hard as their regular songs?
Only the Isley Brothers.
Oh, that's a good one.
On,
Woo! Out the gate. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Africano. And then this was definitely in a time in music where you're seeing a lot of the influences of certain instruments and music styles really come to the pop world and being widely accepted and appreciated, actually. Already you see the breakers trying to get in the cipher. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. But
cannot
yeah,
lose.
That's a
You can't
jam.
lose with that.
nah.
I love the heavy jazz influence that they break out on that track. I love that song, man. I love that song.
So I'm very interested. Like anytime I hear like people like discuss their childhood with music, it's beautiful to me, man. So coming into like that world, like what were you primarily listening to? And then you said that you were kind of introduced to like other forms of music, once you start like catching on to the breaks and whatnot. But like what when you first started listening to music, like what did you start listening to initially?
My parents were really big on like freestyle music and um some of the early house tracks
Okay.
out of New York specifically. And then as a regular younger kid, now this is before 10.
Yeah.
After 10 things switched up big time for me cuz that's when I was just able or was exposed to hip hop, and I'm talking about not on the radio hip hop,
Yeah.
like shit that now is certified classic shit, but you would wonder why is a 12, a 10, 11, 12, 13-year old girl listening to this, you know. Mind you, I had 36 chambers and I was 10 when it came out.
For real?
Yeah, I had it on tape. So
I be
from a
feeling
young age, I just gravitated towards like a grimy sound. Like I really connected with it for whatever reason. But then because I was also that person who was this, like, she knows all the social dances. Oh, like that's that Puerto Rican Dominican chick that knows how to do that. Because I would get called out mostly by black brothers and sisters. They were like, "Ah, she don't got that," and I'll just start battling. It started like this in school back in the day, and then people would just know or categorize me as that girl that danced all the social dances. And then someone saw me doing it and said, "Hey, you should try breaking." And in my mind, I'm like, I don't know how to flip. Like, and isn't that from the 80s? Like that was just like the thought process I had at the time. And then I went with her to like an event. Actually, it was at a church. It was like a hip hop church. I kid you not. Like they'll do their service, and it's really geared towards young adults.
Was it Hezekiah Walker's church?
Is it what?
Was it Hezekiah Walker's church?
No, it was called Crossover.
Crossover.
But it was kind of messed up in the beginning, at least for me. I would just show up after the service. I show up after the service because they had an open practice.
Okay.
Eventually, I started going because they you get called out too. You're a young a delinquent just showing up after just to practice. But anyway, then at events and just jams and environments where breakers are at, you hear a lot of funk and soul, and I wasn't exposed to that at least at that age.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can't help but your foot is tapping, even if you're not a dancer. Your head is moving. You're feeling that beat just drive you. And being exposed to bands like that, big bands, and then also a lot of them coming from a Latin community that I didn't at the time. I didn't really know. I'm like, oh, they're Cuban, they're African, they're Puerto Rican, like they're like me, and I know, and they're making dope music. And this was like 30, 40 years ago, and I didn't know about it. Like, it just opened my mind to dope music and also the art of the sample, right? Because there's so much music out there that you would even know that this person took this part, chopped it up, reversed it, added some reverb here, did that, or just straight up took the whole song itself and just redid it and made their own version of it. So being involved in the breaking scene just opened my mind to so much stuff. And then, you have lockers, you have poppers, each style within hip hop dance, they have their own preferred music as well. So that's a whole another show. You could talk about hip hop dance and the music that has inspired the moves and how it's changed over the years, over the decades.
Yeah, because I know out here it was more of the poppers and the lockers out here.
Yeah.
As opposed to maybe, did you guys really have a lot of that up in New York?
Yeah, I mean,
You did?
I think LA or the West Coast was known for that, like the Radiotron,
Yes.
like poppers, lockers, all that stuff. But New York and LA now in 2021, you're always gonna have just dope talent because of the type of cities. Those are the type of cities that gravitate or bring those people in. I think before YouTube, before like the platforms we're using today, styles of dance were really, you could look at someone and know where they're from based on their style of dance, because we only knew what we were surrounded by talent. So you're not going to know really what they're doing in LA unless you see a video and they're like, whoa, yo, they're doing that in LA. That's that LA style. That's that New York, Chicago, Atlanta, like whatever city. Now you have dancers in Japan that look like they came up in the Bronx.
Or look like they came from LA. It's weird.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's because now, anyone could just Google whatever, and then they're flooded with all this information that before you had to learn under someone. You had to be trained by someone to learn this particular style. But now, the gates are open. So that's why you have people all over the world now, specifically with hip hop dance, that they have this New York or LA swag, and you're like, girl, where you from? Like Kazakhstan? Like, what the? And it's true. And you got to give those people their flowers too, because they're killing it.
That's right.
So that's another topic. But yeah. Shout out to breaking, which, eventually led me here and eventually led me to just knowing about and being able to enjoy ill music.
It's so funny that you say that because everything that I chose today was basically off of regions. What I just played for you was a regional sound that you probably would have got from the Midwest, kind of Northeast, kind of Bruce alluded to that sounded a lot like Rick James. What I'm getting ready to give you right now is what New York's R&B sounded like in 1985. I'm getting ready to play the second single released by a person that we all know as Keith Sweat on Stadium Records. This was well before he had his deal over at Elektra. So this song is called, this is literally my favorite Keith Sweat song, and it's called My Mind Is Made Up. Let's get a little taste of early Keith Sweat. I remember when he came through B103 and I showed him this record. And I remember B103 in Atlanta, that is. And I showed him this record, and he was like, damn, I ain't seen that since 1985, and we all kind of just had a laugh. So taste it.
Tonight, it's gonna be alright. You're looking good. I like the new you. Tonight, it's gonna be alright. You're looking good. I like the new you. My mind, my mind is made up. 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 I wanna be with you, baby, tonight, baby, if that's alright. I wanna be with you, baby, tonight, baby, if that's alright. Would you mind, girl, if I kissed you on your lips? You're so irresistible. And one, it makes two. I'll show you what I can do tonight, baby. I just dim the lights, it'll be alright. I wanna be with you, baby, tonight, baby, if that's alright. I wanna be with you, baby, tonight, baby, if that's alright. You are something else. You got a style that drives most men wild. And you, only you can do what you do to me, baby. You surely pass the test. You're better than the rest. I wanna be with you, baby, tonight.
There it is. My Mind Is Made Up by Keith Sweat. I
What
love
what year you said that came out?
the year of our Lord, 1985. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
And I
jam, man.
picked this up from it was one of my trips up to New York. I was on tour with Jimmy Cravity, and but he was signed to Capitol at that time, and we were staying at the Paramount Hotel, and something just told me look up record stores, and that's when I found Human Head, and I found this up there,
Shout
and
out to Human
I
Head.
was yeah, I was so
Dope
happy,
shot. Dope shot.
man.
That's
Yeah,
dope, man.
yeah.
And Keith Sweat really had a long reign too as the king of R&B
Mm.
until
Come on now,
Jacquees knocked him off his throne.
man. Hold on, hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna
uh,
do you like Keith did, Jock. You see, if you've seen that video when the two of them were together, boy, Keith was like, hey, which I don't know is, man. I mean, Keith's been living in Atlanta for God, probably a good 30 plus years now. But Keith don't play that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a real GG. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
still his name is still respected in many circles. So yeah,
All the record collectors like Jacquees. Who? What? Who's
Jacquees,
that? What are you guys talking
huh?
about?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
nice.
all right.
yeah.
Um,
21 with no kids. You remember that time?
Now I actually don't know the young brother's music.
He
I
actually
know
made good music.
like his voice, and I had just seen that video. And I was hearing the stirring. So I
That
Yeah, I
was
don't.
one of
remember when
our
it was
events
all over
too.
the place and people were like question. I mean, that's that right. They say there's a saying. There's all press is good press, basically.
It
Yeah.
is. It is.
So
It
look, we
is.
talking about this dude still.
Yeah. Yeah, we still are.
All right. So instead of overconfident singers, we're gonna go to non vocalists. I know I've shared plenty of times before. One of my favorite instruments is flute. It's probably my favorite wind instrument, especially when used in the jazz context. Next to tenor sax, flute and tenor sax are right there. Um, and this flutist, Jeremy Steig, he did one album for the mighty CTI Records, Creed Taylor Incorporated, entitled Firefly. And this is probably his most like commercial date, but I enjoy it. I think it's pretty dope. Everything, isn't awesome, isn't great on this album, but the track I'm playing is. So I'm going to be playing Hopscotch, which features some other jazz greats. So on drums, you got Steve Gadd. On guitar, you got John Scofield. John Scofield played a lot on Stevie Wonder stuff during the 70s. Ray Mantilla on percussion. RIP, I believe he passed of COVID in
Oh wow.
2020. But yeah, so this is Jeremy Steig. He's one of my favorite flutists. And here is the track, Hopscotch, which kind of has like this broken beat vibe to it, I feel. So here we go. Jeremy Steig. Jeremy Steig with Hopscotch, and you see the subway graffiti. This album is 77, so this photo is at least at the latest 77. So you see the influence of hip hop already quickly going all city via the subways. And Jeremy Steig playing his funky, choppy flute.
I would have grabbed that just by looking at the cover.
It's a dope album. I enjoy it.
Have you ever selected albums like that, like just on the whim? Like, you know what? I'm not familiar with this
Yes,
artist. Yeah.
All the time. All the
I
time.
do it all the time.
All the time. One of the things when I go looking for records often, it's like I don't have an idea of what I want when I go out. Like I don't say like, oh, I want this album by so and so, and I'm looking for it. I just go and try to find something, and usually I'm trying to find stuff that I don't know about, or don't have a clue about. Maybe I only know the artist's name, or maybe I only know the label, or maybe I know the producer, or maybe I just like the musical lineup that's on it, the instrumentation, And I buy things. A lot of times, I buy things based off of instrumentation. So if I see that somebody's playing flute and somebody's obviously playing drums or bass and piano, Like that's a combination I buy anytime I see it. I would just buy it. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's a flute and the vibes, I'm buying it. Or if it's flute and any kind of percussion, I'm buying it. So yeah, I like the flute and I like Jeremy Steve and I like records.
I like how the piano and the flute were in sync
Mm-hmm.
in that tune. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And like he was right, they were right in lock with each other.
Yeah, it got that. It got the whole little choppy kind of like broken beat vibe to it. You know, it reminds me. It reminds me of like Kylie Tatum or Digo, that whole 2000 Black, all the stuff that comes out on that label. Once again, we're talking about the UK, London town. Yeah, you dropped that
Mm-hmm.
joint. Yeah, man, those cats. Man, I can't say enough about them cats, man.
Monsters,
That whole broken beat scene in the early 2000s was so
bugs in the attic.
man. Yeah, man,
Yeah,
so special. It still sounds fresh. It like there's no date stamp. It still sounds fresh. So maybe I'll have to bust out some of that on the next one.
you should.
Yeah, I think I will. I think I
What you
will.
getting ready to share? What you getting ready? I see your face.
No, I really appreciate how passionate both of you guys are when it comes to music. It's dope, and I'm lucky to be here. But with that said, if we're gonna go based on just dope covers, and I'm glad
Mm.
I actually have this by me. Mongo Santa Maria.
Hey,
Eh, eh, eh.
Mongo.
stun on
Yo.
them.
Let's
Stun
talk
on them.
about this cover though, real quick. First of all, I would probably wear this outfit. And he's looking like the man.
He is the man. Look at what's around him.
Yo. He like, look what's around him.
Yeah, he is the
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, he's definitely the man. Obviously, percussionist, Cuban. One of my favorite congueros, bongo
Congueros.
players. And the song I'm actually going to play today, We Got Latin Soul, because we do.
Telling you, brothers, all around the world, baby, we got Latin soul. You dig? All around the world, sisters,
He said, you dig?
so
You dig?
let the bongos make you sway. In Latin soul, say the bell will make you swing. In Latin soul, but the conga is the king. All right, in Latin soul, Latin soul, we got it. We got Latin soul, baby. All right, we got it. We got Mongo, Santa Maria, doing the thing.
Break.
We got Mighty Mongo, yeah, doing his Latin soul, baby. All right, we got Latin soul.
Fire. Fire, fire. We got Latin soul. Mongo Santa Maria from the Working on a Groovy Thing album. Yeah, fire.
You know
Fire,
that
fire, 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 fire.
that reminds me of like watching uh early, and I hate black exploitation title, but I mean if that's what whatever. But it just reminds me of watching like a early movie, and then they'll be in like a big beautiful scene where someone will be in there performing, and that just sounds like one of those songs that you would hear like as the artist is performing, because they would feature different artists in those movies, man. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a beautiful song, man.
Yeah.
I want that just based on the cover, and now I'm going to add that to my collection.
The one of my first 45s that I ever bought was a copy of We Got Latin Soul. I forget what was on the B side.
For
But that was
real?
one of the first 45s I ever bought when I
Wow.
was a wee lad. So I wish I still had it. I have to find that, get that album. I don't have that one.
Ooh, yeah. It's basically his. It's like if he had heard songs on the radio, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna give you my version, and it's gonna be dope, and it's gonna be iller. Yeah, and I'm gonna have all the fine ladies around me on my album cover.
I like the one in particular, the one that was down with the little twisties. Like she had the little curly. I'm still a big kid. Like that's mine at the bottom.
Her.
Yes. Oh, praise the Lord. Yes. That's somebody's grandmother
Damn,
right now.
your eyes were like lasered in, like
I saw. Yeah, yeah. My eyes just it automatically goes. Yeah, I like that. We got Latin soul. Come on now.
yeah,
Well,
man.
I'm getting ready to give you a little LA soul.
All right.
This would be. Why did I put my screen in the full screen? This would be, boys and girls. This is the wife of Dick Griffey. Who is Dick Griffey? D. Dick Griffey is the president of Solar Records. What was Solar Records, D? That is Sounds of Los Angeles Records. I know it's a Solar Records out now. That ain't the Solar I'm speaking of. I'm speaking of that Solar. Yes. And Solar is home to many groups like The Whispers, Shalimar, Climax. Well, Climax was on more on the other side of the game. Babyface. Babyface had an album over there. Yeah, a lot of different people, man. Dynasty, you
Lakeside.
know. So yeah, there you go. Lakeside. A lot of brilliant people were on that label. But Carrie Lucas is another one of those. And the song I'm getting ready to play for you, normally I would give you Show Me Where You're Coming From because that video had a bunch of lockers and poppers in it.
Mm.
That video, if you go back and watch that video, you'll love it. Or I normally would play Rockin' For Your Love, but I think I'm getting ready to play for you today. Is it a dream? Is that what I'm gonna play for y'all? We'll find out. I don't know. Or maybe I'm playing men. This is what LA sounded like back in those times too. Yeah, I'm playing men.
Washing up the dishes, making up my bed. Bowing to his wishes. Is that a woman's place? But I think it's funny in your masculine embrace. Not for love or money. Could you fill a woman's place? Man, the way you're treating me is just a sin. Man,
Talk your talk, Carrie.
you wanna
Yes.
play the game and always win. Man, a woman needs to be herself to show her love. Man, show some consideration now and then.
So some consideration now and then, fellas. You know what I'm saying? Especially those out here with these beautiful women. Show your consideration, man. Yeah. Don't be so overbearing. So that was a message in the music right there from the beautiful Carrie Lucas. Man.
Yeah.
That was a dope. That
We
was a
need to
dope
play
track.
that for Women's History Month.
Yeah, man. This is a very good album from top to bottom. It's actually one of my favorite albums. It's one of those albums that'll get you dancing, and yeah, she's nice to look at too. So yeah,
That had some very interesting chords during the verse. Like it wasn't like I don't know music theory and all like that, but it was like not like not like your standard use of chords. There was definitely some, I don't want to say awkward, but not normal changes that you would hear on like a dance oriented track.
Just real musicians, man, getting down
Yeah,
and just doing what they do. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I love the spirit of that. Just old LA musicians. Um, I mean, you can say that for all musicians all across the world, but of course, I'm gonna be a little more biased. But yeah, I just love that time of music. I love it. Nothing else I really could say about it.
beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
So my last joint that I'm gonna play is actually one that I hadn't pulled off the shelf probably since I put it on the shelf when I moved into my home. Um, and I kind of neglect um, like my what I consider like my rock, pop, and like folk other section, AOR section of my collection. It's not very large, but I don't go back to it that often. And I decided, why not shine some light uh, here on Music is the Key, which I mean, this is the perfect outlet for it. So this is a Hawaiian group, Kalapana. Um, I might not have the correct pronunciation. I don't know what the Hawaiian accent sounds like or what that word means. I'm sorry, I didn't do the knowledge before I presented this. But so they did a few albums. This is independently released. I think they did 3 independently released LPs, and somehow I have them. And I know I didn't find them all at the same time either. So it's kind of it's an oddball in my collection in that sense, but it's really, really good. I guess what they would call AOR music, the adult oriented rock. For those who may not be familiar with that term, so like the rock part is kind of uh, it might sound a little off-putish, but it's not really like rock as you would think about rock music. It's more like just groove-based, like light pop rock almost in a
People
sense.
today call that yacht rock. Yacht rock.
Yacht rock. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
what people call it.
I guess AOR is what they used to call it back in the day.
That's what it was called when I was a kid.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
for radio stations and whatnot, they would
Right.
call it AOR or adult oriented rock. So it was like soulful, jazzy, like pop grooves, really, basically what it was. And there's some just really, really, really good stuff that still stands the test of time. And I think this is an example of that. And these cats may have not got the light they wanted, but we're going to shine a little light today with Calipana. And the track I'm going to play is called Love 'em. Love apostrophe EM. Love 'em. So here's Calipana.
Love 'em, even though they laugh at you. Love 'em, though they I see right through you. Love 'em, share the pain the world shall get. Love 'em, everyone must not believe 'cause that is the one thing that will save us from destruction. Hurry, don't take too long. Lose your children, your daughters, and your sons. Hey, lover, show them all the strength you have, lover.
So yeah, man, it's just a nice, easy listening tune. With a positive message. Love them. What is Just love them. Don't ask questions.
All of them. All of them.
All of them. All of them. So yeah, Calipana. And these cats, I'm definitely gonna be looking back into their discography, the albums that I own, the albums I own, and giving them some much needed spin. So yeah, shout out to our Hawaiian brothers.
I wonder, because I know Bruno's from out there. Next time I get a chance to talk around them. I'm going to ask him, is that one of his influences growing up also?
Mm.
Because
Did he grow up out in Hawaii?
yeah, he grew up out there.
Okay.
So I want to, yeah, I'm really interested to see how big their influence was, out there. Especially how fly they are coming out of the waves, and their hair is not the ocean, and their hair ain't even wet. You see
Oh
that?
yeah, oh
You
yeah.
ain't even see. You ain't even peeped that, bro.
They could probably dance on the water and not get wet.
No, 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 no. That's only
Oh,
one person that could do
that's
that, bro.
only Mr. Wiggles. Excuse me.
Yeah, man. That's that. Yeah, that's backyard boogie oogie oogie, bro. No, that ain't that. What you got, young Blizzle?
Okay.
As Bruce was just playing his last track, it made me change my mind.
Uh oh.
But it's all good. I was mentioning earlier, as far as my musical journey as a young Blaze, I was all about that gully shit. And I'm still like that today, regardless if I listen to all genres of music under the rainbow.
Yeah.
With that being said, another 45. Once I started collecting records, I really came to realize how hard it was to really secure 45s, hip hop 45 specifically, that are in good condition, and that are actually tracks that I would spin. And this is actually something that was gifted to me when I first started, you know, being more known, I guess, for rocking more vinyl events. But with that being said, let's listen to Black Moon. I Got You Open. That intro.
Woo!
Original book, original head, doing it like this. Yeah.
Classy. This is the remix, by the way. You know what? I think I put the instrumental, but it's still dope. My bad.
Hey, we can flip it if you want to.
Yeah,
Flip
I'm
it
gonna
if
flip
you
it
want
over.
to.
You need to hear the bars.
Yeah, turn
I'm
that
gonna
thing
flip it over.
man.
You need to hear the bars.
How
My
many
bad.
times have I done that on this show? When in the practice runs, Bruce.
Rewind.
We can't hear you, brother
Moon.
Bruce. We can't hear you.
You need the intro.
Funny replay. Funny
Book.
replay. Run back
Original
selector.
head, doing it like this. Yeah.
I woke up in the morning, hopped on a train, I saw my man, he had a L in his hand. Hide it from the beast, at least I catch a buzz before I hit my block. I take a mega hit from the on the good ship, lollipop, move the hop, so I can put the hip in the grip. Everybody's lips, so I can take a trip to the dip, dig a deeper hole, microphone control with soul. Look at my hot eyes and tell me how could you be cold? I'm coming to you from the underground with thunder sound. Number one question, yo, how can I be down? Well, I tell you, bring your lighter and roll your finger back up on your lighter so you see the fire singer. Flow from left to right, then front to back. Herbal verbal, let us give the mic contact. React whenever I keep the head scoping. Don't front, you know I got you open. Don't front, you know I got you open. It's the original heads meeting, original crooks. Don't front, you know I got you open. Check my dialect from my diaphragm, my man. Don't front.
Black Moon. Got
Man,
you
you just-
open.
You just took me back with that one, man. I had a girlfriend from New York, and she used to bump that all the time. Yeah, I used to love that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Rec Records, Black Moon. I Got You Open remix. And the instrumental, which is always, I mean, I wish more artists and producers would release instrumentals. You know, back in the day, that's what it was when you got records, singles specifically. It's very
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah.
But yeah. Hip hop, hip hop. You know that last week was Hip Hop Appreciation Week, and I had no idea.
And you were giving us a lot of hip hop last week.
Yeah, man.
How
I
did that
played
go?
a Lord Finesse featuring Kara Swan, No Gimmicks. Yeah,
Hmm.
that was last week.
That was nice.
Yeah, man.
Well, today I'm going to give you a little gospel R&B lesson.
All right.
Little Cedric and the Haley Singers, better known as KC Haley. and
That suit.
oh man, it's so cool because on this album I have another album of him. I'll pull it up after we finish. That's unprofessional of me, Daryl. Um, but on this song, KC is actually singing the lead, or Cedric Haley. You also have leads on this album from JoJo, and a lead from a gentleman by the name of Timothy Moore. As a child, I was actually able to catch them singing, um, going out catching up. I think I caught them in Atlanta as a kid, just singing and giving praises to the Lord. And I wanted to be like young little Cedric here, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this right now. Name of this song is called "Away with the Lord," and I'll find that other record too.
The Lord, eternal life, that's for me, yes. I know away with the Lord. If I just live right with my life in Christ.
You ask me why I serve a God I can even see that shouldn't be there. But look at the flowers, birds, and the
That's a
trees.
young KC.
It's enough for me. If I live right and I serve His name, I don't have to worry about things. One day He's coming back for me. In His wind, I'll be free. And I'm going.
Away with the Lord,
Oh Lord,
eternal life,
oh
that's for
Lord,
me, yes.
oh Lord,
I know away with the Lord. If I just live right with my life in Christ.
you find love in your fine clothes, all your money and all your gold won't do no good on the other side if you don't have Jesus down inside. I'm going
Away with the Lord,
eternal life,
eternal life,
oh Lord,
that's for me, yes.
oh Lord, yeah.
Away with the Lord.
Ooh.
I just get right with my life in Christ.
Yo, there's no way that you come up in the church with the church in choir and not like have pipes.
You have to, especially when when you're the face of these groups. And this album came out in '85. This was the second album, and here was the original one.
Yeah.
So
Man,
yeah, man, I love.
he had that power as a youngin', man. You could see the
Yeah.
power. You know how strong he was singing, man. That's beautiful, man. That's
JoJo, if you hear the songs with JoJo, you'll really be like, whoa. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they had some voices. And I even have the Great Family, which is Devontae and Dalvin. I have some records from them when they were young, and man, you could hear a young Devontae, playing. Like you could hear his influences, man. So yeah. So by the time they came around as Jodeci, I'm looking at them like, yo, I remember these guys, but I remember them, like just touring around. My mother taking me out to. My mother was big on going to gospel concerts in the South. She was big on that. So yeah,
so my uncle's from North Carolina, Topsail Beach, far like pretty far south North Carolina as you can go, and he's a pastor now. Well, he's been involved with the church his whole life.
your
A big
uncle with
boy
the
barbecue sauce,
Big Boys barbecue sauce, which I have here. We can plug it. Keep
um,
going.
but his favorite R&B group was Jodeci, So every time I hear
What?
Jodeci or anything involved, it just reminds me of him,
It's
and
just
vice
funny to hear
versa.
that his favorite R&B group was Jodeci, but he's a pastor.
Yeah, yeah. I know it's the duality, you know,
I think
Yeah,
about freaking
duality of
you.
life. Um,
that's my jam.
Devontae sang. No, 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 no.
yeah.
We love your uncle, man. Shout out to your uncle, man.
Yes,
This
yes.
barbecue sauce is wonderful, Blaze. Like wonderful,
I'm all
wonderful.
about that. I love hot sauces and barbecue sauces, sauces in general. I'm with it.
Blaze.
I need to try it.
When this
We'll have to
gentleman,
get you a bottle.
yeah, yeah, I will personally send you a bottle over there, Blaze. When this
Yay.
gentleman, when Bruce told me his uncle had barbecue sauce, I jumped on that thing so quick. That thing got to me very fast, very fast. So shout out to your uncle, man.
Yeah, and it's also part of my father's family is from North Carolina. The Jeter in my last name. I'm
Mm,
throwing
There's
my
a
government
Jeter in
out
your
there.
last name, like as in Derek Jeter?
With a G.
with a G.
Yeah, we're like the
Like
OGs. Yeah,
Jeter.
that J, I don't know where that comes from. I don't know where that comes from. The G is the OGs, but yeah. So my family's originally from North Carolina.
You have family in New York too? Half of New York
Um,
is from, well, like half of a lot of New York is from the Carolinas.
I don't have family from New York.
Mm,
No, not blood family. So
mm. Yeah, I know so many people from New York that they'll say, "Oh man, I'm going down south to go with my grandmother." So why do y'all? Yeah.
migra- migration patterns.
I'm hearing a question. Why do y'all? So I'm feeling like it's going to be directed towards me
Well,
now.
because no, I can't direct that one to you because a lot of your family's not from the Carolinas, right?
No.
Your family's from the Dominican and from Puerto
Puerto
Rico,
Rico.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of brothers and sisters I know they did not like the South, but their grandmothers and aunties was from the South. So it's like, why do y'all don't like the South so much? It was different. It's a different day and age now, though. Everybody
Yeah.
things
loves everybody.
things are a little more as time goes on, things become less regional.
It's less.
Hmm.
It's no regional anymore.
It's not
Exactly what I was
things
saying
aren't broken
earlier.
down like that anymore.
Yeah,
So
it's no regional anymore. Everything is one sound. I was thinking about this a lot, especially like with the advent of radio of like radio conglomerates like iHeart,
Mm.
that just made everything all once. And I worked for them before, so um, who cares? But I don't like the fact that everything is one universal sound. There's no region. You could
Hmm.
go to New York and you could hear a sound. You could go to Cincinnati and hear a sound. Tennessee, the Carolinas, Mississippi, Texas, LA. Everything sounds the same now, all around. So finding good music is very. You really got to dig for it now, and I think that
Hmm.
that's what separates people right now. People say it's not good music, but it's a lot of good music. You just really got to have an open ear, to what's going on.
yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of good music for sure. It's just it's hard, um, even as somebody who searches for music on the regular, it's hard because there is just so much. It's a lot to have to to search for digging through different avenues to find music, because it's a time related thing too.
That's
Hmm.
true.
It takes time to listen to music. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like, oh, okay, new song, I'm just gonna pull it out. No, I gotta listen to it, assess it. So
But there
yeah,
are a lot
man.
of people doing that same exact thing, and that's why you have, the same sound in multiple places because not all DJs, but some DJs get caught up in that radio cycle, and
That's
this is
right.
what I have to play, and the people that are feeding that cycle have control of it. You know how things work.
That's where I
So,
go back to like the iHearts who own most of the radio stations in America. They just program a list and they send these lists out to all stations and
hmm.
whatever the standard is. What is it? The Drake, the Migos, the Cardis. Right now, um, you get some her thrown in there. Um, some Megan. They'll throw a couple other little artists, Rowdy Riches and stuff like that. You'll get those artists, but there are so many other like perfect example is through the show that runs on they might be taping called Untitled. My niece, she's 21 years old. Please forgive me, TR. But she puts me onto a lot of R&B music, man, that I would ordinarily be like, uh, I don't know about that. I had to get past the names, to be honest with you. It's just an older bias. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yo, what is this? But it's like you just can't judge a book by its cover. You really have to, like, just give things time, and you just have to have an open ear. So I say that to all of my people in my group of age, who just feel like, oh, ain't no good music. It's plenty of good music. Like Bruce said, though, you just gotta dig.
Or if you don't want to dig, then you gotta lean on the right people.
Yeah.
You know
Nah, let's get past the leaning on stuff, y'all, because that's what I think that's what's making people lazy with the music. To be honest with you,
what you mean?
people are just leaning on. If you just leaning on me, then what you're gonna get from me is a funky sound. If you're leaning on Bruce, you might just get no, man. Just like search for your, like, lean on these people, but search for
Well,
yourself.
well, everybody doesn't have time to do that, and
Yeah.
everybody's not interested enough to do that. Everybody's
Yeah.
not as into it as we are.
I
That's why
got
I'm
you. I
saying.
got you. I
That's
got
why I'm
you.
saying like people have to.
That
They
hurts
got
my
to
heart.
find people to lean on because we're like, okay, I know you. I know you know your thing, so I'm gonna come to you. You know what I mean? For I want to find some new music to listen to. So that's what people do. And that's what we're supposed to be, purveyors of sound, giving people context, giving little backstories. That's what we do here. Music is the key. We talk about why we love something, where it may have come from, and these different things. So it helps give a little bit of context to people, who are just listeners. They're not necessarily overly critical listeners. They're not, necessarily historians or musicologists. They just want to hear something that they like. So you gotta, that's where we come in by parading, or not parading, by putting on for the music that we enjoy as individuals, what moves us, the certain sound, the particular sounds that move each one of us. And then we're out there for other people to then look at and say, hey, I dig that, I dig that, I dig that.
If anyone wanted to know what the definition of a DJ is, that's the definition. How, like, straight up, that's exactly what the definition is, because you hear and you see a lot like push button DJs and
Yeah,
all that stuff, and I'm gonna just play my playlist, and it's basically what this DJ does, blah blah blah. But
that's why I was saying what I was saying.
it is our responsibility to, even if it is a more commercial gig, to drop those little gems throughout your set and still introduce people to new artists or new music that they maybe have never heard before, and sprinkle that in, if you can. It's important, especially now. There's millions and millions and millions of songs. Not even
Yeah.
the most dedicated music purveyors have that much time to listen to everything that's pushed out there and put out there. You know what I'm saying? So
What you just said is exactly the reason why I said we shouldn't just rely on people, because everybody that has the title quote unquote DJ, like you said, they're not digging for the same. A lot of the DJ, sometimes I have to be quiet because I know a lot of the DJs in today's get down, man, they're literally, like you said, they're just taking more of the corporate route, and they're playing the same old that you hear everywhere else. That's why I was saying you shouldn't just rely alone on a person just to give you music. But I understand what both of you guys are saying, and we're all saying the same thing. Oh, bless the Lord.
Well, that's just where integrity comes in,
Yeah,
from the people who are putting the music out, or putting people on the music.
yeah,
And then on the other side of that, the people who want the music have to have trust, that have to
that's
be able to trust that the people they're looking to are operating with integrity. So it's both sides. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
We just
That's true.
gotta be true. Be true to ourselves, and each one teach one.
Closing thoughts, Sister Blaze.
What he said. No, but I mean, it's so true, and it's kind of like a double-edged sword. As far as like, sometimes you get paid good money to do these corny ass gigs,
That's right.
right? And can you blame a DJ that's struggling financially just to make ends meet, and
No,
not getting, maybe
not
a
at all.
gig for an audience that's more open to certain or other forms of music other than what's popping in clubs and on the radio because of this whole music system.
Yeah.
um just got to be versatile nowadays. But with that being said, yeah, that's my final thought. I'm gonna go off tangent here.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
too, because I have so much more, and you know what? In a future episode, we actually could touch on that because yeah, I have so much more. I could go into that, but yeah, that's somewhere else. It's Taco Tuesday, and I promised some people that I would be stopping by. So I got to get ready to make a couple moves. But who wants to close us out today? This was really a great show.
All right, so this has been another edition of Music is the Key, episode 18, episode 2.
19.
Excuse me, 2. No, we're starting anew. Hey, whatever happened in the past is the past, baby.
19.
And we're brand new here.
19-2.
Yeah.
Right.
So we hope you all enjoyed. We had you know
Oh,
doc-
what did everybody play? What did everybody play before we? Yeah, yeah. Bruce, play. Show us your records real quick.
so I played in reverse order. Sugar My Not, Wicked I Go Feel It, Bullwacky's Records, 1980 something, 5. Marcos Valle, Brazilians on Warner Brothers Records, 1966, let's say. Calipana, this is a private press Hawaiian record, 1976, with the AOR vibes. And I opened up. No, I did not. Okay, I did not go in the right order. I mixed these around, but
It's okay.
Jeremy Steig, his Firefly album, I played Hopscotch. So yeah, those are my tracks.
All right, for
Miss
me,
Blade.
in reverse order. Hopefully, I don't mess this up. But Black Moons, I Got You Open remix. I started with the instrumental, but then I flipped it, and then we heard the real thing. Um, then I actually one of the illest covers
Yes,
of all time, where Daryl has a crush on this woman right here.
I do.
Mongo Santa Maria. We got Latin Soul off of the Working on a Groovy Thing album, I believe 1976.
Yeah, that was the year I was born. I'm old.
I also played Dr. Buzzard's original Savannah band because Bruce mentioned it last week, and I played Sun Showers, which is one of my faves. And then obviously Ghost sampled and all that good stuff. I think. Oh no. Oh yeah. I played some Earth, Wind, and Fire.
That's right.
45. Africano. Shout out to all my B girls, B boys out there. And yeah, that's what I played today.
I kicked off my set. I kicked off mine with Champagne Whiplash. The next song I shared for everyone was I said it with a lisp. Was My Mind Is Made Up by Keith Sweat, 1985. I followed that up with Carrie Lucas, Men, and I closed out with Little Cedric and the Haley Singers, Away with the Lord. Oh, bless the Lord. That's what we did. All right. That was fun tonight, y'all.
And this has been another edition of Music is the Key.
Yep,
Coming
yep.
at you from all angles. Myself, Bruce Phillips, Chaotic Blaze, our brother Daryle. You can follow us on IG. You see our handles. And yeah, this is where we're at every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. This has been a They Might Be Taping production.
Yeah.
Peace.
All right.
Have a good Memorial Day, guys.
Oh, that's this weekend?
Yep.
Oh, Lord. All right. All right.